What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Dom and Pop DC Sports Talk Plus podcast. Let's not waste any time. Super Bowl recap. We're going to break the whole thing down for you. We're going to give our Sauce Award, helmet stickers, kick outs of the game, just like you all know and love. Let's get ready. Pop, how you doing, man?
What a game.
What
What a
a
game for the
game.
first annual Dom and Pop Super Bowl post game. Great
Definitely,
game.
definitely. I mean, that had to be one of the best football games I've ever watched. Certainly one of the best Super Bowls I've ever gotten to see. Um, yeah, fantastic game. Really just well fought battle. I mean, this is what we talked about going into it, right? When you're saying it's a pick 'em and you just don't know who's going to win. It's going to be so hard to pick a team. And we said going in, how could you pick a better game than this? You got the two best teams in the NFL. You got the team that's been dominating for a few years now. You got the new kid on the block that just looks absolutely phenomenal in the Eagles. And I mean, you gotta. I know we're sitting here repping the NFC East rivals, repping the Commanders. We're Commanders fans. Pop's got his Washington gear on too, but you got to give credit where credit is due, man. The Eagles played one hell of a football game tonight. Just phenomenal football on both sides of the ball. Obviously, the Chiefs came out on top, but yeah, great game. Pop, any early reactions, quick things you want to get off your chest before we get into our regularly scheduled programming here?
Nah, I mean, I really thought it was the Eagles' day, right? I mean, they were up
Yeah,
24-14 at halftime, I think it was. And that you got to give the Chiefs a ton of credit, you know, in terms of that second half and how they came out and really just
yeah,
overtook the game. And but then of course they get up 8. The Eagles come storming right back with a big play down the sideline to Devontae Smith and a score, and then 2-point conversion. I mean, it seems like Hurts couldn't be stopped on those runs.
yep.
Yeah, phenomenal game, phenomenal performances all around. We were kind of rattling them off. Yeah, just unbelievable. Then the Chiefs just do what the Chiefs do, find a way to win. You know,
Yep.
and then you see that ankle of Patrick Mahomes get rolled up on again, and he's limping off
Going
the
into the
field.
half.
And this time, it's almost feeling like, oh man, this time it's for real and it's serious. And somehow he continues to go at it and play. And again, just phenomenal game, great Super Bowl. Tough, almost one of those scenarios where the last team with the ball was going to win, right?
Yep.
And
I had
the way the circumstances played out, that was the Chiefs.
Yep, I had that thought, and funny you mentioned Pat's ankle. I'm sitting here watching the game with my girlfriend, and it's Pat takes off for that scramble on what ended up being the last drive, the game-winning drive, and he's running down the center of the field, and I'm screaming, "Get down, Pat! Get down, Pat! Get down, Pat!" Because I'm worried he's gonna hurt himself again. It's the last two
Right.
minutes of the game, and my girlfriend's go, 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 go. So it's funny you worry about that ankle as it's going through, but man, the way he gutted it out, and that's something that it won't show on the stat sheet. It won't show, 5 years from now when we talk about some of the great Super Bowl performances. This one won't jump out to you on paper. But, and even just tonight, we were just talking about it before the game. Maybe Hurts was even better. If you're looking at numbers wise, he was better. And if you're looking at just the eye test and the incredible plays that were made, but the way Mahomes managed that game on a bum ankle and was able to use his legs to make plays when he needed to, was able to get outside of the pocket, just be completely fearless, put it all on the line for his team, not to take anything away from what Hurts did. But as Andy Reid said, that's why he's the MVP. That's why he's your Super Bowl MVP tonight. That's why he's got two Super Bowls in 3 appearances at what, 26, 25? He's a freak. He's a
Well, he led
freak.
the team led the team to 38 points. He threw 3 touchdown passes. He had 44 yards on the ground, had some big runs, some crucial
Yep.
moments on a bum ankle. Um, was still a very Patrick Mahomes type performance, and just you know, tough to bet against Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes. It's just
Yep.
what it comes down to.
And you know what? I want to give a little bit of grief. I know we're not getting into our kickouts of the game yet, but I got to give a little bit of grief to my main man, Travis Kelsey, here. Because Travis Kelsey gets on national TV at the end of the game and he says, "Not one of you picked us. Travis, check the tape. Dom and Pop unanimously picked the Kansas City Chiefs to win the Super Bowl in the preseason.
In the
In the preseason,
preseason,
everybody was talking about, can Mahomes do it without Tyreek Hill? He's losing his weapons on the outside. Now everybody's going to focus in on Kelsey. We said no, it's the Kansas City Chiefs. So, Travis, put some respect on our name. Just playing around, of course, but I had to, I saw that and the light bulb went off. I said, we got to call him out on the pod.
that's
So,
right.
yeah,
That's right.
we believed, even though one of
All
us, I'm not going to say
160
who,
pounds of Dom soaking wet will take you on head on, Travis.
not true. In Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, maybe in Super Smash or Madden.
No, I
Not
thought
in
that
a
was.
non-contact
I
sport.
thought he's a little bit too much with that too. Like I was after the game, I was going like,
I love
I
it.
mean,
I
come
love
on,
it.
they're one of the favorite teams always. So, but anyway, I mean, I guess it's always good to have a chip on your shoulder and something to motivate you
I think he's right.
to
I think
play.
he's right.
But
I think there was more negative news than positive surrounding the Chiefs in the offseason.
well, I mean,
People forgot.
we talked about it in the pregame pod. It was all the Eagles are the better team, top to bottom. And I mean, it did feel for the longest time during that game that it was the Eagles' day, but the way the Chiefs came down and got that score and took the lead, and I mean, you go from being down 10 to up 8. I mean, man, no, we're not always strong in math in the Dom and Pop show, but that's an 18-point swing in a
Yeah.
pretty short period of time. Got to give the Chiefs credit how they came out of that locker room and took over the game in the second half, and methodically marched down the field, um, you know, and executed at the end there. A little bit of controversy with the holding call at the end there on the
Ugh.
defense. Definitely changed the outcome of how the end of that game was going, but yeah, I mean, heck of a football game. A lot of fun.
Yep. I hate to keep bringing it to the back to the Commanders, but you just gotta wonder, how is that call with James Bradbury against Juju Smith-Schuster? How is that a hold? But Curtis Samuel in the end zone against the Giants on that fourth down, it's not even a legal. I don't know how that. Somebody's got to explain to me how that works. Somebody's got to explain to me how. Put those two plays next to each other, and you've got Roger Goodell walking around talking about he thinks the officiating. This is a quote. You think it's better than ever this year. That's what Goodell says about the state of the league. So, hey, you know what? No better way. Let's segue, unless you got some other stuff you want to catch up on, Pop. But I say we get right into our post game awards.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So, do you want to get the kickouts out of the way since we're already talking about it, or do you want to hit the sauce award and the helmet stickers first? How do you want to start?
You know what, son? You're the DJ. What do you want to
I'm
do?
the DJ. I'm throwing to the cots of the game first because I'm already fired up about it. To see a game that good end in the hands of the referees. Good call, bad call, I don't care. I don't want it going to the refs at the end of that game. I want to see Mahomes have to try and punch it in for a touchdown, or you wonder, hey, was that strategy of trying to run the clock out a bad move? Because now we had to kick a field goal and Hurts can come the length of the field. I want to see that. I want to see that scenario play all the way out, or I want to see Mahomes have to make the play, make it happen. I don't want to see the refs get involved there. And
Do you remember? I mean,
I think it's a
what? I
bad
should know
call.
this, but what down was it?
Third.
It was third. So I mean, they're having to kick the field goal right at that moment because it's an incomplete pass, and there's
Yep.
was there like a minute and 40 on the clock or something like that. So
Yep. And not
um,
to mention, Philly was down to their last timeout. and you've got a holding call. It was 3rd and 6. Holding is only a 5-yard penalty, but it's an automatic first down if we're
That's the
talking
killer. Yeah,
I'm not sure about illegal contact. Do you know if illegal contact is automatic first down or not? I don't
I think.
know.
Yeah, I think any defensive penalty in
Okay.
that situation is an automatic first down.
Yeah, so either way, but that's just I mean, I don't know, that looked like good coverage to me, and people were saying, I did see a tweet from, JP quoted a former NFL DB that had played for a long time. I can't remember his name, I'm sorry to you. But he had said that Bradbury was holding Juju all night, and they finally got him for one. I don't know. That looked like good, clean. If I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan, I'm really upset right now, and I know I don't have to tell them to be upset. I'm sure they are.
Well, it's
But
just I looked up the game log. I mean, it's a minute 54 left in the game. The game, tons of time. They got a
yep,
timeout left, like you said. I didn't like the call either. Yeah, I don't know. At the end, we don't know, but like I said, it's a lot of time left on the clock. You could certainly see an overtime scenario happening with the Eagles driving down and getting in field goal position. Neither team seemed to be able to stop the other team. Yeah, I mean, I didn't like the call. I think you're allowed some contact near the line of scrimmage, but it was one of those plays where he did just enough where it appeared as if it was holding, right?
yeah,
And it's not a play you can review. And once the ref makes that decision, because just the way the whole sequence of the play plays out, Mahomes tosses it up. It really looked like to me he was throwing it away
yeah,
anyway. So it's like it just didn't seem to really impede the receiver that much. And I
yeah,
agree, you hate to see it come down to that. I mean, the only thing that makes me kind of laugh or giggle a little bit as Philly fan is definitely going to be crying. And that's going to be everything to do with the excuse they're going to make of why they lost the
yep,
game. Look, you were up 10 points at halftime. Don't let it come down to that point at the end of the
yep,
day, right? Don't let it come down to a situation where that one penalty that goes against you will kill you. Take care of business. Keep that lead. You do have to give. People are going to boil the game down into that one moment. You do have to give, and I agree, it's a kick cots, and I don't like the call, but you got to give the Chiefs credit for what they did in the second half, right? They
yep.
outscored the Eagles by 13 points in the second half when it comes down to it at the end of the day. So, but yeah,
And you got Mahomes on that same drive on 1.5 ankles. That's being generous. Scrambling for 20 yards right up the middle, no spy on him,
yeah,
nothing on a third down. I mean, you're right, and I've said it all season. I love that you outlined it. It never comes down to you never want to leave the game in the hands of the refs at the end of the game.
right,
You got to take care of business. You can't leave yourself such a tight margin where the refs can change the outcome. That's always what I've maintained. But as a fan that just loves football, I hate to see that go that way. I will say, devil's advocate, you had the Dallas Goddard call and you had the Miles Sanders not fumble call earlier in the game. Any tight call seemed to go Philly's way earlier in the game. Any of those, like where it's almost
right.
down to a matter of opinion, that went Philly's way, and that swung a lot. I mean, you took 7 points off the board with that Miles Sanders call, which, in my opinion, I'm not Mike Pereira, but in my opinion, that's a fumble. I've seen that be a fumble more times than not, frankly. Um, so just to
I
be
didn't think it was.
fair,
I didn't think it was a fumble.
to
I
be
think
fair,
by today's rules, I don't love today's rules. I've always been a believer that you have possession of the ball, you get 2 feet down. That's all you need to do to keep possession. I don't know. That's just football to me, but
yeah,
that's not the rule. The rule is you got to make a football move, and I don't think he did at that point. He got that third foot down, made a move, it popped out. It was close, but I didn't think that was a fumble.
it was
I
right. That and the
I
Goddard
did think
catch were both
I didn't think the Goddard catch was a catch.
no, but
That I
every
didn't think was a catch.
it's just a rule that Philadelphia has to get one bomb down the sideline that's not a pass get called as a. I mean, that's just a rule. But anyways, don't want to break down the whole ref performance here, but definitely got to give the Kickots for that. All the negativities out of the way. Let's get on to the Sauce Award. Um, Unsurprisingly, got to give it to your Super Bowl MVP, Patrick Mahomes. Got to be the Sauce Award here. I had at one point texted you and said Kadarius Tony. That's got to be the Sauce Award for that play. But when you calm down after that crazy punt return and you realize just the magnitude of that game, you got to give the Sauce Award to Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, no doubt. Well,
He
Super
did his
Bowl
job, right?
MVP. So they
They picked
they
it for
uh
us, right?
they picked it for us, right?
Yeah. Helmet stickers. We'll give out three as usual, and then maybe we'll discuss some honorable mentions. Got to give one to Kadarius Tony. Just he's
Absolutely.
has that touchdown play, which was more of a brilliant play design by potentially our boy Eric Bieniemy. I don't want to call my shot too early, but brilliant play design there. Uh, and then he walks in for the touchdown, and then the next time he touches the ball is on the longest punt return in Super Bowl history. And when you look at it, I'm going to break out an Italian term here. He had ugats. He had ugats when he caught that ball. It was a low punt. A lot of guys are dropping that ball in the first place, and he catches this low punt with nothing in front of him, and he starts going left, cuts it right, and the way he cut it right when he had three or four guys in front of him, I said to Morgan as I was watching, I said he's going to house this, so he's gone because I know he has that breakaway speed, and sure enough, he almost did. I mean, you almost wonder if he had turned the Jets on a little bit more rather than tried to be patient, if he could have made a dive for it or something like that. But
Yeah, it was.
incredible, incredible play.
I thought it was actually brilliant the way he picked his spots on that return,
Yeah,
honestly, because
it was
the
like,
Eagles did have a row of guys, and had he cut it inside, I'm not sure he would have gotten very far. But it was crazy when he did cut it back. The row of Chiefs you saw, I was like, he's got a
yeah,
wall, he's got a wall, and yeah, that's probably the play of the game.
yep. That
Yeah.
was that's got it's either got to be that or it's got to be the fumble return for the touchdown
So how do you
on
think
Hurts.
that Kadarius Tony is going to think wearing Major Tutty helmet sticker on his helmet? How do you think he's going to feel about that next year?
He's gonna love it,
Yeah,
man. He's
I
got
agree.
to. Yeah. He's got to. Speaking of a little bit of an awkward sticker combination here, Jalen Hurts is gonna be walking around with a major tutty sticker on his helmet. So that's even gonna be weirder when he has to play us twice next year. Oh, I don't look forward to that. But it's gonna
We seem to have his
gotta give
number.
him a
We
helmet
played
sticker.
him. We played him tough. We're the only team. Well, now
Hey,
the second team to beat him this year.
Taylor
That's
Heineke and
loser
Patrick
talk. Don't go there. Don't go there. But
Taylor Heineke and Patrick Mahomes in the same
oh
sentence.
no,
In the same sentence.
don't do it, son. Don't do it.
What did
It's late.
I gotta give a quick shout out to John Kime on that because John Kime tweets at halftime. He goes, Andy Reid telling his players, Taylor Heineke ain't walking through that door. Have to figure out a way for the offense to stay on the
That's
field some
pretty
other
funny.
way. Gotta
That's
give a
pretty
shout out to
funny.
John Kime on that. That made me laugh out loud. So yeah, but don't want to take anything away from the boy Jalen Hurts. Gotta give him his helmet sticker.
Absolutely, he played a phenomenal game, and he would have easily been the MVP. That score flipped the other way for the Eagles. So all due
Just
respect, great player.
unbelievable player. Just great. I mean, he's got to be cracking at that top three going into next year. Just absolutely stud. It's going to be hard to pick between those four guys. You got to throw a dart at them. Of course, Mahomes number one, but then the next three down is going to be hard.
Yeah,
Um,
no, he earned it. He was phenomenal today.
yeah, and the deep ball that kid has is it's unbelievable. He's quick and decisive in the short game. He's not necessarily doing the West Coast just snap the ball and go to your read offense, but when he needs to throw it short, he throws it well. But the deep ball he has is unbelievable. He's so
Well,
accurate with
just
it. I mean,
I mean we talked about it, and we're not going to give out more than one helmet sticker to a losing team, but I mean the performance of Hurts, but not only that, Devontae Smith with 100 yards and AJ Brown with 96 yards and 6 catches. Dallas Goddard had a great game. I mean,
Yep.
lots of great performances across the board. And if you are an Eagles fan, I don't really feel that much sympathy for you. But, that's one of the things that's really got to sting in terms of just how well, especially offensively, the team played. But that great defense, again, just Pat Mahomes, and just, can't say enough about, you know, that Chiefs team and what they were able to do. But yeah, no, just great performance by Hurts, no question about it. Um,
Yep.
and, and I think it would have been pretty easy to hand out 3 helmet stickers to Eagles players for sure had they won the game.
Yeah, and even like you look down the line, Kenny Gainwell with a pretty solid performance. Dallas Goddard, even though maybe he doesn't jump off the stat sheet, had a couple of really pivotal catches that counted as catches um, over the course of the game. I mean, he had the one where I think it was 55 on the Chiefs, had his arm in between his two arms and the football, and Goddard's holding the ball like this and brings it down on what was a crucial is a conversion for a first down, I think, but it was a huge play. Um, yeah, so Eagles played great. That's the that's the point there. And our third helmet sticker, got to give to the boy Travis Kelsey. I had debated with Pop over wanting to do Kelsey or AJ Brown would have been my pick, but I'm biased. I'm a big AJ Brown fan. As much as I hate the fact that he wears green now, I am a big fan of his. But we went with Pop, give it to Travis Kelsey. Really,
Got to go
just
with the winning team, and Kelsey
the
was,
difference maker, right?
always there, pivotal in the attack, had some big plays, had the big touchdown catch. Um, Number one weapon for Mahomes, so got to go Kelsey there.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my boy Isaiah Pacheco too.
Yeah, he was
Um,
really good.
that guy, he every time you give him the football, he runs like his hair's on fire. Like he takes off with his head of steam and he runs hard and he's not afraid of contact and he's got that breakaway speed. I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to need a new team to play for next year. I think
Yeah,
Pacheco's the guy there.
he's a star on the
Um,
rise.
stud. Late round draft pick too. So that's always cool to see. But anyways, that's our sauce award. That's our helmet stickers. That's our kick hots of the game. Now, we got to get down to our own championship here. And I got to be honest, I got no clue what the hell's going on here. Pop said we're going to hash it out on the
Well,
pod.
I
So we're
mean,
doing it live.
I think clearly I won.
Explain that
I
to
won
me.
the tiebreaker. Let me explain.
Which,
I mean,
all right.
we said it comes down to score, right? So last I checked, my score at 27-23 is closer to the final score of 38-35 than 24-20, which was your score. In both cases, I'm closer to the score. So there's that.
Yeah.
I also got the MVP right. If we want to go one deeper, I picked Mahomes. You picked Kelsey.
Keep going.
All
Keep
right.
going. Keep going. I got something
We
for you.
both
Keep
picked
going.
the under. So I think
Keep
that
going. Keep going.
I think it's pretty obvious who the winner is. What the hell are you doing?
I got your cookie. You got the tiebreaker. It's all you. It's all you. I'm gonna
Woo!
eat it, but I got it.
First
Here's the cookie.
annual Dob
You
and
win the
Pop
tiebreaker.
playoff bracket challenge. I beat Dob. I beat our Ravens insider. I beat R. Wilson on Twitter.
Our number one
Thank you
fan.
for participating, guys.
Yep.
But champ. It was
Champ.
basically a tie, but
Took
I'll
it
take it.
home. More or less a tie.
It was
You
basically a
know,
tie.
unfortunately, neither of us took the big hit on the Gatorade. Shocker, they went purple this year, which was plus 1,200. So you could have made some good money if you threw $100 on purple for whatever crazy
Wow.
reason you would do that.
That's got to be fixed.
But the Gatorade is scripted.
The Gatorade's got to be scripted. Come on. The
Gatorade's
Gatorade,
gotta be.
it's got to be. It's got to be scripted. Vegas is
Pop,
controlling the Gatorade.
if you were watching last episode, Pop had a multi-tiered breakdown as to why it was going to be orange. He had a whole. He said he talked to equipment managers on the Kansas City team, and he knew exactly. He said Travis Kelsey said it's his favorite flavor. He had it all broken down. I picked yellow. I wasn't really too into the whole Gatorade thing, but purple was the result there. So in case anybody was keeping up with that, that's always a
Thank
favorite
God
black.
we got that one straight.
Yep, thank God we straightened that one out. And otherwise, I mean, halftime show was great. Rihanna did her thing. I know that's going to be a big topic of conversation. She announced something cool, a little bit of entertainment news because we got range here. She had said she's going to bring out a special guest before her performance. She said there might be a special guest might make an appearance. And then she's performing, and I said to my girlfriend, I said, Rihanna's dressed quite modestly for Rihanna. And then there's a tweet. Rihanna's pregnant. She brought the special guest. It was the baby. I mean, what a reveal. What a way to bring your child into the world. Then perform pregnant at the Super Bowl halftime show. That's badass.
Yeah, it
So
was.
shout out to Rihanna.
It
Really
was for
cool
sure.
there. Great show. There's some entertainment news for you because we're getting wacky after the Super Bowl here. And, I mean, get used to it. This might be this is basically going to be a gossip podcast with the whole ownership situation and the offensive coordinator situation moving forward now that the season's over. But, man, Pop, I got to say, I can't believe it's over.
That's right. We made it through a whole season. First season.
I can't believe it's over.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
It was. It was a lot of fun. Look forward to many, many
Don't cry,
more of
son.
these.
I
I'm
don't
good.
want this to
I'm
be the
good.
first time you cry on the podcast.
No, we're
Because we
gonna
will
need
not
about
edit that. We will not edit that out.
gonna need about a 100,000 more subscribers for some tears to start. Tell you what,
or
100K
a Commanders Super Bowl win.
when this channel can supplant my income, then we'll get some tears.
Amen
Then
to
we'll get
that.
some tears on the channel. But or a Commander Super Bowl. A Commander Super Bowl win would be it. I mean, hell, if Sam Howell starts all 17 games next year, I might cry.
Yeah,
That
well,
would,
we got.
but we got all off season to talk about
We're
that.
pushing 11:30 on the East Coast. We're going to wrap this thing up
Tom's about
with a
ready to wrap
quickness.
it up.
But it's been a lot of fun all the way through the season. There's going to be a ton of great things to talk about. You always worry on the off season what's there to talk about. But like Dom said, we got ownership change. We got to pick an offensive coordinator. We haven't really even done our Commander season in review and getting the famous Dom rant. So there's going to be plenty to cover. And the off season always seems that NFL is a 12-month a year deal. We're talking about the draft before too long
Yeah,
coming up. So plenty of things to talk about. We'll probably try to mix in some other stuff, some other sports. We have NBA playoffs and championships. So we'll have a bracket for that. Um, lot of fun times ahead. So
definitely,
yeah,
definitely. Yeah, it's a great time. I mean, this is right about last year when we got started up with the pod. I think it was like a March-ish start. So we're coming up on a year of doing this. So to everybody that's been supporting us so far, thank you. To everybody who's new, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit the bell, turn your notifications on. We're going to be back to start your week off on Monday mornings. We're coming right to you every week with all the good off-season news now. And yeah, what do you say we wrap this thing up, Pop? To
let's
put a
do it.
bow on the 2022 NFL season. I've been Dom,
This is Pop.
and thanks for a great season, everybody.
Just love me, baby.
Left hand up.